What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to another Omni video. Now, no one should argue with the fact that the best rewards you can get in the game completely free is from nowhere except Rift Odyssey. Now, before the seasonal updates were actually a thing, Rift Odyssey was called Northern Expedition, and your heroes were not benefited by seasonal synergies or artifacts or any sort of buffs. But now things are different, and to be honest, I like these changes because they make the progress of free-to-play players in Rift Odyssey much smoother and easier. So if you don't already know, then Glorians, especially with Navi, have been dominating Rift Odyssey for the past couple of seasons, but and they're still a very potent choice. But I would be surprised if you are not using her. So having a Navi at a decent star level should easily get you to Abyss 100. That was just an introduction or a recap for any newer players who are watching today. Now let's talk about the artifacts. I will mainly talk about the gold artifacts, especially the ones that I actually have bought and tried them. So I will be talking mostly about those ones. Should there be a need to make another video on the remaining artifacts, then I will make a part 2 for this, and because we will have another Rift Odyssey round in like 14-15 days. So before we go into artifacts, it should be mentioned that artifacts can only be used in the PvE settings of Tomb of Itron, Chaotic Space, and Rift Odyssey. You cannot use it in any sort of PvP like Clash Domain or Foggy Colosseum. Okay, now there are 3 different rarities of artifacts. You have the blue ones, which cost you 1 energy. You can see the energy cost at the top left. And you have the purple ones, which cost you 2 energies, and then you have the gold ones, which cost you 6 energy. Now the blue ones basically will give you some basic stats like HP boost, defense boost, attack boost, or speed boost. Like sometimes also gives you damage boost and damage reduction, which are pretty good. And the purple ones, they give you some boosts that are mostly related to a synergy. Like for example, they will give you crit boost or dodge boost, reflect boost, or some other ones. But just talk about these ones. Okay, the blue ones, you probably should get all of them. Not that they are all useful. They're very cheap to get. So you should get all of these ones. For the purple ones, for the most of them, you probably would not need them. Like for example, the crit rate, the 50% crit rate would not make a big difference in an ethereal team. If you are running a mixed ethereals or 2 or 3 ethereals, then maybe it will be a little bit useful. But like other than that, they're not very useful. Same goes for the reflect rate, the other ones. If you don't know what they all means, like for example, like affect accuracy rate or affect resistance, like all these ones, the hit rate or crit resistance rate, then tag me and put a comment down below, and then I will try my best to explain it to you. But we won't spend a lot of time on those ones. They are pretty straightforward. The gold ones are the ones that we will discuss because they give you some unique effects that you cannot get from anywhere in the game. These are the ones. So I have tried only 7 of them. I couldn't buy the other ones. They're pretty expensive. They cost you 20,000 coins in the shop. So yeah, I only have 9,000 now. But yeah, okay. So the first one is Swift Wings. Now Swift Wings, I was really excited for this one. I thought this would be very cool because this will, at the start of the battle, every 1 speed additionally increases the chance of casting the ultimate skill twice by 0.15%. Now this looks very, very cool. I only was interested in for this if I use Tropos. Okay, so Tropos has a 125 speed, and if I use this with the boots and with the feather, it gives me even more speed. So I according to my calculations, I actually reach about 40% chance that my Atropos skill, ultimate skill, will get activated twice. But this doesn't happen. I have tried this so many times, like at least in 50 battles, but this thing never activated. I don't know if it's working as intended, but like I don't know. It says every one speed additionally. So it doesn't say every one increase in speed. So I would assume this is every bit of speed, the one that is inbound to the character, but also the ones that you use that you increase through the boots or feather and all this. But this thing, I never got this activated, to be honest. Like, maybe it's now changed, we got a recent update, maybe they fixed it or something was wrong with it, but this thing never worked for me. So I don't recommend this one at all. This is the chances on this is very, very small, maybe. The next one is Book of Hatred. Honestly, this is very good, but I don't recommend this for everyone. This is just saying landing a critical hit has 10% chance to trigger Awaken and 1 stack of Sanctuary for 3 rounds during battle. And Illowinds gets double trigger chance. So this is very good in a team like Ethereal. So if you get the Awaken, it's very easy to spot when you get Awaken. Awaken just makes your characters look bigger, and they will get an attack and defense boost by 150%. And the interesting thing about this one is Sanctuary. So it says end. So I assume that when this artifact get activated, you get Awaken and Sanctuary both. It's not an either or situation. But when you get Awaken, I went onto the character and then I was looking for the buff called Sanctuary, but there was not any buff called Sanctuary. So I don't know if it is an either or situation or not. But having a Sanctuary is pretty good because it immunes you against 1 instance of damage or debuff. So it is pretty good, but very situational. If you don't have a high crit team, it's very useless. So yeah, as knowing like free-to-play players, they would probably be using a Navi and Glorian synergy. So this one you won't need it. I was just checking it. I bought it only for testing purposes. It's not very good because if you use an Ethereals in Rift Odyssey, it's already maybe a lost game because Navi is much more better. Ethereals face a difficult time clearing higher stages, but that's just my opinion. And this one, Aegis Armor. This one is good for in a Doom's team. So dealing reflect damage has 25% chance to trigger Sanctuary for 1 round. Honestly, this is not as good as it sounds. 25% chance is a high chance. It's 1 in 4 chance. And I was expecting this to get triggered like very often, but it does not get activated very often. And in this game, whenever you had an effect activated like Sanctuary or Blessings or some sort of other ones, they will always it will always show on the screen like this character activated Sanctuary or Blessing or something like this. But when this gets activated, it never shows Sanctuary. I don't know if it's a bug or they didn't actually adjusted it, but sometimes, you know, when my characters get attacked, they don't take any damage, but the Sanctuary doesn't pop. So I would assume it's because of the artifact. But even then, the 25% chance, it seems like a high chance, but this doesn't get activated as much. This I don't know why. But yeah, I do not recommend this unless you are using, you know, Dooms. Maybe you could try this in your team, but overall I didn't had a good experience with this. This is not very good. Now Explosive Axe is a very, very good. If you have like 20k coins, then the first one you should be getting is Explosive Axe. This is the first one. This is your first go-to choice. What it does is it has a 50% chance to splash the damage, 100% of the damage to all the enemies during the battle. So if you are using like heroes like with very high damage output like Nyx or Navi, then this can get often and this can get activated a lot, and you can just one-shot all the enemies if it gets activated. So it's very, very strong damage choice. Yeah, so nothing more to talk about this one. It's just too good. It gives you a lot of attack boost and the damage boost because it splashes your damage to all the enemies. Now the next one is Aning Shield. This one is honestly it's much better than it sounds. It keeps backline allies alive, retaining a minimum of 30% HP as long as at least one frontline ally is alive during the battle. So your backline enemies just won't die. They just won't die as long as you use your frontline characters they survive. So what I recommend you using with this is using something like dodge rate or damage reduction, or you can go defense boost as well, so that your front line don't die. As long as they are alive, at least one of them is alive, your backline just won't die. So this is very good survival option. Like on the top levels of beasts, like a beast 75 and above, and even in nightmares, this will give you a significant boost in survival. So you will reach till the last round to kill the enemies. So this should be your, like your top 2 go-to choice. So if you have enough coins, go for this one. If you are facing difficulty, your team is just dying, go for this one, go for the dodge ones. You should see a result with this. Now the Blood Whip Spear, it is pretty good, but the thing about this is you need to have a healer in your team, or you need to have, otherwise it's not going to be as good. You can convert the healing of leech rate into attack, but like that's very small healing. There's going to be not very big healing, so you will take a lot of rounds to reach the maximum 250% attack boost. But but if you use a healer, you might reach this earlier. But if you know, like, healers suck in this game, so nobody uses healer. The best healer in the game is Seraphina, and she's a Glorian, but she's also very hard to get. She is available in Oracle Shop if you want her. But yeah, other than that, it's just not very good. If you want to use it with Explosive X, because these two will sync. You get a lot of attack boost, and then this, if it gets activated, you just one-shot the enemies. Other than that, I didn't like it. Works, you get the healing converted into attack, but this is very small boost. Either your team just dies before you reach the maximum threshold, or it just doesn't work as well as it sounds. This one is also not that great, but it's very situational use. After triggering dodge, retaliates with basic attack against the attacker even better. So whenever you use this, I always recommend using the Shadow Claw as well, because it gives you a 25% boost in dodge. This one has very situational use. On normal stages, this is not a very game-changing thing, but on boss stages where you hit every hit you do to the minions, they lose 1 HP. This one will be pretty good, because every time you dodge the minions, you will just do a counter attack onto them, and they will lose 1 HP. So it's pretty good on those boss levels, but other than that, or the basic attacks, they don't do much on the normal levels. At least for me, it didn't work. But yeah, now so this was just the basics of all of these ones that I have tried. Now you can not use all these artifacts, all of them at once in a battle. You can only use, as I said, maybe I have mentioned this or not, but you can only use artifacts up to 18 energy. So gold artifacts cost you 6, purple 2, and blue ones cost you 1. My personal recommendation is going either 1 or 2 golds, because going for 3 golds is just it doesn't work out as well. And so if you go with 2 of them, you can fill out the rest with the purples or the blue ones. Now on that note, I should mention that you can actually make a very good you can make good combos of artifacts. So for example, I have talked about these ones, even though it didn't work for me. With every speed you get an increase by 0.15% chance. So you should be using like the boots and the feather ones to give you more chances for this. If you use this one, then maybe you can also go these ones, because if you get Sanctuary, it will give you 250%, which is very substantial amount of attack boost for 1 round during the battle. And you can also go with crit rate. This will give you more crit rate so that you have a higher chance to activate it. The reflect damage also gives you Sanctuary, so if you use this, I also suggest you use it with the protective Sword of Protection, because you get 250% attack boost on each Sanctuary. If you use this again, you don't have to use the reflect rate one, but you can. This reflect rate will boost your team's damage by a little bit. So you can make some pretty good combos with all of this. as I said, like you can use this one and this one as well. It gives you a big increase in attack boost. But all in all, that's all for this video, and thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one.